Hey guys, this is TechX, and today we're going to be upgrading the Tron XY P802M. Also very similar to the ANET A8, so this process should work as well for the ANET A8. But we're going to be upgrading it and adding some fire prevention methods by adding a Mosfet to it. Basically, if you haven't seen these are really cheap circuit boards that you can add to the printer by wiring it up, which I'll show you in just a second. And it basically takes a lot of the current and a lot of the load off of the main circuit board that operates the whole printer, so you don't have it heating up as quickly. So this will heat up quicker, and it'll be able to cool off quicker, as opposed to the tiny heat sinks that are on the main circuit board. So to get started, basically we want to make sure everything's unplugged, to make sure you don't have anything installed or anything plugged in so you don't get shocked. So that's one of the main important things. Just to go over the Mosfet real quick, it says hotbed, here we go. It says hotbed here. I'm going to be wiring it for the extruder today, but it works the same for the hotbed because I already have one for the hotbed. And then there's the DC in, positive, negative. Both the hotbed and the extruder, it doesn't matter which screw you plug it into because they're both wires are the same. There's no positive, negative. So then you have your DC in, and then this is the control in, which I'll show you where to wire that up in just a second. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the power module, and then this is gonna be for hooking up your DC in. So this is the direct current in. You have your positive, negative. You want to make sure you identify your wires. So if you have different colored wires like I do, I'm going to be using black and white. Black for negative, white for positive. You can see here I already have the black hooked up for negative. This is for the other Mosfet that I have, and again there's the white wire also there. To keep from putting too many wires in this setup here, I'm going to just hook these wires, since I already have the hotbed, which will be drawing the most current, hooked up directly to here. I'm going to put the extruder Mosfet, and I'm going to hook that up just directly from the main circuit board. So to hook that up, all I'm going to have to do is strap both these wires. If you're hooking up directly to here, all you have to do is just lift up this little panel, unscrew the screw, slip the wire in. It's probably smarter if you have these to use these little I forget exactly what they're called, but they just allow for you to be able to slip it right up underneath the screw. So if you can add those, that'd be great. That's probably a better idea because it keeps it a little bit more secure. Alright, so before we get started, I know this is a mess back here. It's not the greatest, but it works for me. So if you guys, if it really bothers you that much, you can let me know about it in the comments, and maybe I'll fix it, or maybe I'll 3D print some sort of organization. But that's not right now. So what you want to find is the two wires coming from your extruder or hot end. You want to find where those are coming in. Most of them look like these. It's like a cloth on the outside, a sort of cloth, and you're just gonna unscrew those from the circuit board. Take both of those out. Open the ports all the way up. So unscrew it almost as far as you can go. Not all the way, so the screws don't come out. And that's where you're gonna unplug this from your Mosfet. Take the two wires again. This doesn't really matter. This is just for the control, and you're going to put those right back in. This is just so that the control board can tell the Mosfet when to start giving out energy, or when to turn on the extruder or hot end. So this went in pretty easily. You may have to strip them down a little bit more, but again, be extremely careful so that you don't have any extra sticking out so that it sparks, because you don't want that. Just gonna leave that off to the side here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook up the positive and negative wires to the MOSFET. The screws on the DC in, again, make sure you identify which ports are which, so that you're not plugging in negative to positive and positive to negative. So, positive wire is my white wire. You plug that in. And negative is the black wire. So now that part's wired up, all I'm gonna have to do now is take out, oh, I already have the extruder wires here. Just have to, again, wire those in very similarly. Alright, now make sure they're nice and secured. Make sure that's gonna fit. So the next thing is to make sure that you can find an area where you can get everything to fit, everything to hook up, and then use some, like I'm going to be using some double-sided Gorilla Tape. You can also use some of this 3M double-sided tape. Again, you really want to make sure you insulate. You want to make sure you insulate the back of this so that nothing ever gets connected. Again, I'm going to be mounting it on plastic here on the frame. That's up to you. You can mount it pretty much anywhere. A lot of people end up mounting it on the power box, but I'm just going to mount it right on the plastic here so I definitely don't have any crosswire. Okay, yep, so this is pretty much what it looks like when it's all done. It's a little bit of a mess. Just a word of caution, I guess you could say, when you're working, if you decide to plug your MOSFET in directly into the board here, it's really hard to fit two wires into this. Again, it's not drawing any more power than it normally would. It's just drawing the same amount of power. So, I don't really think it's a fire hazard. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.